Just wiggle that off your axle. There she is. Welcome back to the Ben and Rich YouTube channel. Well, if you clicked on this video, you know why you're here. We got ourselves a 2010 Cadillac Escalade. So what is going on with this hot rod? So basically there is a howling sound coming from this vehicle. Kind of sounds like a, big old jet airliner, as you turn and you turn left and right and, all that good stuff. And you can hear the noise, right? Or you have an ABS or StabiliTrak and all that stuff like. Common problem, wheel bearing, right? So what we're gonna do today is show you how to change it, right? So we got ourselves a premium, says right in the box, hub bearing for this unit. And at this point here, we're gonna show you step by step. So let's get her in the air, see what we got going on. Step one, how do you know which one's bad, right? Because every time you're driving down the road, you think it's the other side. It never fails. You'll always change the wrong one the first time unless you give her some preliminary checkovers. So this one here is just bad enough where you can tell. There's physical movement. The other way you can tell too is if there's a grumbling sound when you turn the wheel. Now this all-wheel drive, it's a little more difficult, but if you're, having a Tahoe or something two-wheel drive, usually it's a little bit easier to diagnose. But in our case, that's how we can tell. So, tie her off. All right, get the center cap out of your way. Now let's get the wheel out of the way. The biggest thing is these are a 7/8 or a 22 millimeter, unless you got some sort of aftermarket lug nut. So one of the things that you need to disconnect is your ABS cable here. So you pretty much have a little clip here, and this will pop out just like that. And then also on top, you're gonna want to pop this little Christmas tree out here. Now, these are kind of funky to unplug. Sometimes it's easier to snake a pick in there to kind of flip the little tab open, but let's see what happens. And that one came out apart. Nice. All right, you got one more over here. And now you're replacing this anyways, obviously with the new bearing, so let's give her a pry. If you break it, it's not the end of the world. There's a couple little detent tabs holding it in. There it is. Get yourself an 18 millimeter. Now you can use hand tools by all means. I have an impact, but a ratchet and a socket would do the same. Sometimes you need a pry bar to kind of peel the caliper off here, but it comes off pretty easy. Depending on, I guess, the rust level of your vehicle. I'm in northern Michigan here, so it's kind of rusty. 36 millimeter for the axle nut. Now you want to check and see if yours is free and ours is not. Well, a little bit, I guess. You don't want to strike on that with a hammer. If you feel like you need to, get a punch, use an air chisel. There's some sort of device other than hitting this and messing up your threads, because it's not going to be good when you put it back together. T30 for the Torx bit. And your rotor will come off. And you may have to knock that off with a hammer. This thing's recently had a brake job, so. Now that we're out of the way here. Well, you see the whole wheel bearing in its entirety, right? What's next? Well, back here on the backside there is 3 15 millimeter bolts, 1, 2, and 3. Now you see why we left that steering wheel loose, just to be able to turn it back and forth to expose all them bolts. And then when we go to pop this off, there's gonna be a couple different methods. I'll show you the crudest and the most common tool you're gonna have to knock it off there. And I'll also show you a super handy tool that was pretty cheap off Amazon. All right, check this out. How freaking cool is that? I love this thing. And just turn it and move it to a different spot and kind of work your way around, but you get the basic idea here. Now you don't want to potentially bend something, so just be cautious. If it's not moving, then put it in a different spot that's more rigid, because you can bend these ears. Your best bet's gonna be something solid like that, but it was already moving for me, so it was no big deal. But look at that, she's nice and free now. Just wiggle that off your axle. There she is. Don't need this anymore. So while we got this apart, things that are always overlooked, I wanted to touch base with you on. you always want to try and clean these surfaces. Even your brake caliper bracket, you can see where there's like a rust provision. Well, that's raised right there, right? So think about this. What's the odds with that large of a hole and that bolt not fitting in there very tight that bracket can't move? And next thing you know, you're on a high spot of rust. And then eventually the rust wears out and then your brake caliper bracket's loose, right? Just like why you should clean the back of your wheels. Just like why you should clean your hub surfaces before you put rotors on, right? So we'll go ahead and polish this real quick. Here, here, and here. And then you always want to check this out from the same token. You'll get the same effect. Just a wire brush or anything will do. In here, you might need more of a flap disc or a grinder, but when I say grinder, be modest. You're just trying to knock off this little bit of rust here. So my weapon of choice, one of the most annoying ones in the shop. It's always nice to put a little Loctite or thread locker on your wheel bearing bolts. Remember, folks, you don't want them falling out. All right, time for reassembly. We got our dust shield all cleaned off. We got our new wheel bearing. Drop your ABS cable through that. And it only fits one way, obviously. So we'll go ahead and put this back together. Now, some people will recommend anti-seizing the back. Well, you can if you'd like. The back of what, you say? The back of the wheel bearing. But we cleaned ours out and, well, it'll be just fine. So we're gonna use the bolts to pull that in, and then we're gonna hit them with a final torque here in just a second. So we're gonna hit these at 133 foot-pounds. Don't forget your axle nut. We'll go ahead and put this back on. Now we're just gonna bump it up with the impact. We're not gonna send her home all the way. Now, here's a heavily debated topic, is axle nut torque spec. And we're gonna go ahead and give that to you. But in this instance, a majority of these aftermarket bearings nowadays are molded around the backside for a pre-calibrated torque. They basically crush the bearing, kind of like a pinion crush sleeve, so you can't over torque them or under torque them, right? They won't fall apart. You know, that's why you see a lot of two-wheel drive vehicles that have a hole through the bearing. It's because they're like that. Now, that's not every application, and that's not all of them. So don't quote me on that. You need to really review the part if you're contesting that. But in this instance, that's one of them. So you could just bump it and tighten as tight as you could if you didn't have a torque wrench. Am I giving you that as a disclaimer? Do as you wish. By all means, I'm gonna torque it because that's what you're supposed to do. But again, sometimes you don't have some of these tools. So you'll see us hit it with a torque wrench when it's on the ground. So we have the weight of the vehicle stopping the tire from doing what? Turning. So I went ahead and removed this plastic piece. I've definitely seen them where they did not come with them, but this one did. So we're good to go. They usually do, but in some instances, worth leaving on or saving. Just clip that back in. And the same token for this one. Now this is the critical one. This is kind of, sometimes they're a pain in the butt to snap together, but if you get lucky, she just clips right on like this one. Give her a pull, make sure it ain't coming apart, and then it will just snap back in the existing holes. And that's all she wrote. Now, like I mentioned earlier with rust, check the back of your rotor. You can see these aren't too old. They're still shiny and new looking. If here's a ball of rust back here, you're gonna wanna clean it. You don't want the risk of, again, rust loosening up and causing your wheel to not be tight after a few drives. But we're good to go. Line up your hole for your Torx bit. Slam her back on. Now remember, if for some reason yours is missing or you have to drill it out, you don't need it, right? Don't let them tell you need it. There's no point. The point is at the assembly line, the damn rotor stays on the hub. So I'm gonna put it back in because we have it and ours came out. If for some reason you don't, or you don't feel like putting it back in, don't worry about it. It's not necessary for form, fit, and function just to hold the rotor on from doing that, okay? And honestly, I don't even really send them home. I just kind of leave them snuggish. This is the reason why you left your wheel loose. You're gonna give that a turn and give you access for your brake caliper bracket. Now, same token, you're gonna wanna clean these mating surfaces here as well. As you saw, I had it hanging from a brake hook. You can get them right off Amazon, any auto parts store, Lyle Tools sells them, other manufacturers, just a metal hook. Use a coat hanger, a zip tie, whatever. You don't want it hanging from the hose. Here's my one warning. These are brake caliper bracket bolts. Put thread locker on them, not anti-seize, people. What's that yellow stuff? Factory thread locker. You don't want to make this thing easier to fall out. There's my disclaimer. Sometimes they'll fight you. You just got to give them a little squish with a C-clamp, but this one went right back on. And the reason that is because you end up with a big rust ridge at the top of your rotor sometimes. So a little squish with a C-clamp doesn't hurt nobody. And what I mean by that is basically you're depressing the pistons just a little bit to give you some tolerance to slip it back over your rusty rotor. Let's bump these up. And we're going to hit them with a torque wrench here in a hot second. Them torque up at 148 foot-pounds. Now, I was just thinking, some of the vehicles have a cap over that, and this one is missing. I'm assuming somebody was in there before, kind of a late note. But basically, is it necessary? No, it just keeps all the crud off that, so don't sweat it if yours is missing or if it's there. If it's there, just put it back on. All right, get to hit these old lug nuts here. So these torque up to 140 foot-pounds. And then don't forget your axle nut. That dude is 177 foot-pounds. Okay, 177 foot-pounds. Let's bump this thing down. There we go, 177. Now don't forget your center cap, of course, folks. Gotta make her look good, right? So, I appreciate you tagging along for this little adventure. Just a quick wheel bearing replacement on this Escalade. So, make sure you like, subscribe, share all good stuff. We'll see you on the next one.